Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about how freedom of speech on social media relates to the amendments. We're going to start with an interview from Mr. Solomon, a high school history teacher.
No, Grady, come on. Just talk to me about freedom of speech.
I think in America we need more of it. I don't think anybody should really be able to manage what kind of free speech is said wherever. I mean, businesses do kind of have a right, but at the end of the day, everybody should be able to speak their mind.
So I can use hate speech.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can use hate speech and bully somebody if I want to?
No, because then it's targeted at a single person.
Okay, so there are limits to it.
There should be limits to it, like when it infringes on the rights of somebody else is when you're...
Who decides when that limit has been reached? The government? They decide when that infringement happens?
Yes.
What if they choose something incorrect? What if they choose something that they think is offensive and it actually isn't? Where do those limits begin and end?
That's why we have the judicial system.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You heard of Michelle Carter?
No.
Michelle Carter, I forget what year, so sorry, audience, told her boyfriend to kill himself in Plainville, Massachusetts, right down the road. And he did. She told him to get back in the car. She can like egged him on to do it, and he did. And she went to jail for 2 years because she, on the phone, told him to go kill himself, and he did. Do you think that should have held up in court?
In my opinion, she is a horrible person, but she committed no crime.
She convinced someone to die. She took advantage of someone who was in a poor mental state and convinced him to die using her words. Isn't that violent?
But did she kill him?
Yes.
No.
Her words killed him. Do you think words can have an impact on people?
Yes.
Okay, then her words had a very final impact on him.
Yes, but it's not the same as yelling fire in a crowded theater.
I'm not saying it is. We haven't talked about that yet, but we will. We'll get back to the fire. I'm just talking about me using my words to bully someone else and killing them. Should I be held accountable? And my intent was to kill them. Take a minute. It's a big question.
Yeah.
What do you think? They can't help you.
No
They can't help.
from the
Yeah.
audience. No, it's because Lex was commenting.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, hey, send someone in if you guys want to do a guest speaker here.
What was the question?
You should be paying attention. This is your podcast, aren't you the producer? If you guys can't help, then leave it. If you want to come in and save him, sit right here. Sit at the table.
I don't need saving.
All right, then go ahead. We're talking about Michelle Carter. We're talking about freedom.
I don't think it should have held up in court.
Why? You haven't convinced me. I think I've made pretty convincing arguments.
You have.
She physically hurt somebody.
She didn't physically hurt him.
Words can be physical. They can have an impact on you. They can make you mentally feel bad, which is a physical impact, as well as mental. And they led to a very physical outcome.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there should be limits. I think there should be hard limits on it because people say terrible things and people can be impacted by those terrible things.
Yes, but I feel like the thing here is that at the end of the day, he made that choice.
Because someone else convinced him to.
Yes, but if I convince you to join a pyramid scheme and you join a pyramid scheme, is that not your fault?
I think we have things in place to prevent things like that. I think there are still some limits to what you can and cannot do. A pyramid scheme is operating within the law. I think telling someone to kill themselves is not operating within the law. I'd say it's bullying, and bullying is against the law, right?
Yeah.
Right?
If you want to talk to me, join the interview.
Yeah, no, they're cowards. Don't worry about it. They're sitting here watching. Okay, come on in. What's your name?
Lex.
Hi, Lex. How you doing?
Pretty good. So
You got an opinion for this for me? Are you with me,
I
against
do.
me? Okay, go ahead.
If you say that it's against the law to tell someone to do that, but not against the law to scam someone into giving away money, where does the law lie?
Life.
Where's the line?
Life and safety. I think losing your money is fine. That happens all the time, right? But like losing your life, that's a one-time deal. So I think that's my line.
Yeah,
Did I convince you?
it's pretty good. Yeah.
All right. I'm 2-0. We got room for a third. Jackson, you can sit right here.
Room for a third does not sound right.
All right. We edit that part out. Take that part out. You guys have anything else for me, or did I win the argument?
I think you win that point.
Okay. Anything else about freedom of speech you want to talk about, or is this the end of the speech?
Do you believe that the government should have more control to regulate what happens on social media?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you not?
No, but I believe the businesses that cultivate social media, although it would infringe on the rights of businesses a little bit, which are less important than the rights of the individual.
Sure, but can I ask you a question? Do you think social media is healthy for the United States of America?
No.
Okay, then we should get rid of it. We put bans on cigarettes, right? We put an age limit on it. Why can't we do that with social media? 18 years old.
I think social media is good for the individual, not for the entire country.
So it's bad for society, right?
Yes.
But how is it good for a person then?
Because social media can be a good outlet of news. It can give you info, help you know information.
So we just had Sean Barnick sit down with us. We're going to turn to him for a minute. Sean, good to have you on the show.
I actually disagree with you, Lex. I don't think social media is good for the individual because it can cause somebody to have like emotional distress and really care about like how other people view them, which
And-
isn't really good for the person, like for their mental health.
And not to cut you off, you've agreed that it's bad for the world. So how can it be good for a person if it's bad for the world? Do you enjoy social media?
Occasionally, I don't have.
Like a fine wine. Like every once in a while, you're like, I'm going to look at TikTok.
Yeah.
What do you get out of
An
it?
occasional Corona.
Oh, okay. I edit that out. Edit that out.
No.
I feel like when you're talking about the benefits, which is the doom scrolling, where you get to look through and go, ha 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 ha, Instagram.
That's not good
Like,
for you.
right, but
that's not good.
as the alcohol reference we just made, it feels good for you in the moment, but then it has repercussions later on. You're
Like-
doing it as a distraction.
It's like if I were to like go home and I like need to get my homework done, but I go on
Tempted
social media
by social
and
media,
then
yeah.
I don't end up. I have like barely any time to actually do the stuff that I'm supposed to do.
Right, let me ask you this. Kaya, how often do you use social media? Any kind. Yeah, daily. Do you think that's a good amount of time, or do you think you're doing too much of it? Yeah, so Kaya's a good student. She thinks an hour is too much of it. So let me ask you guys this: how much do you spend on social media per day?
Not much, actually.
Okay, so less.
I might be an outlier. I have YouTube.
Okay,
That's
okay,
it.
let's go. Okay, but I'll count YouTube. So how much time do you spend on your phone? More than an hour?
On my phone or on social media?
Let's say on social media. Keep the argument where you want it to be, right? Social media.
Half hour to an hour.
Is that including YouTube or no?
That's just YouTube. I have nothing else.
That's just, I have nothing else, just YouTube. That's a quote. Write that one down.
Yeah, we'll put that
Sean,
one
what
down.
about you?
I spend probably about an hour, but I definitely don't think that's like good for what I need to do throughout
Okay.
the day.
I spend more than an hour. I get sucked in like when as soon as
Yeah,
I
no, I
click
know.
You
YouTube
would.
Shorts, it's over.
Right. So do you think that our government has a responsibility to better the mental health of our children?
I do think that the government. has
That raises another point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's a difference between social media rights between adults and children?
I think adults are just as bad. I feel like if you look at social media, adults can't handle it like they can't handle it just like children can. It's aimed to be addicting. It works on adults. You said you have schoolwork to do.
Yeah.
There are adults who have work to do and they choose not to because they're on the phones all day. I think there's no difference. I would like to just ban it completely, to be honest, but I know we won't do that. To your point earlier that Grady made, we talked about the freedom of a business, right? So I understand that, but I think if you're a kid, you don't have that right.
Yeah, I think you can argue that it's probably even worse for adults than it is for children.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like I got cut off
they
earlier.
spend a lot.
Sorry, I probably did
Yeah.
cut you off. I'm good
No,
at that.
so what I was actually arguing was that I think the government should have more. I think the business should have less rights when it comes to regulating free speech. I think the government should be the only one controlling what can be said on a platform.
So wait, hold on. So
Unconstitutional. That's unconstitutional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wouldn't that
right,
go
so-
against freedom of speech?
I was
though,
gonna
Grady?
say, are you arguing for more limits?
No, I'm arguing for less limits because if you look, most
But
social media
so if I'm a
sites have less-
business, I can't regulate what people say on it. So Twitter and the amount of like Nazism that's happened because of the freedom of speech, that's okay.
there is that same Nazism would be okay under the government.
Sure, it would. But if I'm Twitter and I don't like it, I can't do anything about it. I don't have that right. My business that I made from the ground up,
I don't think so.
even though I made it, doesn't sound very American to me.
I mean,
I
it
do
does have a
think-
degree. It does come with a degree of freedom, but
I think that
Sounds kinda
businesses,
communist.
the businesses should definitely have control over what they produce. It's their right to be able to control what they make. But I also think that the government should have some sort of ability to kind of entice the businesses to have more control over the platform and what they feature on their platform. Do you guys
so just
No, hold on. I think we have a new caller. Hi, what's your name?
Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Did you watch the game last night?
I did.
It was very good.
Yeah,
what a
very good.
crazy game. Chapman, Mr. Tully actually said Chapman, I have this in the text, was a waste of a move and a dumb move by the Red Sox.
Not true.
Not true. Yeah, completely wrong. I agreed with
That's
him at
going
the
in the
time.
podcast.
It should be in the podcast. It's the most important news thing we've talked about.
He's gonna have to listen to this.
How do you feel about? Yeah, it's like gonna be like 2 hours long.
We're gonna have to shrink this thing.
No.
No. You can't.
We're
you
going
can't.
for a
Are you?
half hour.
I'm sorry. Are you limiting my speech? Are you trying to put a corral?
It should be long enough for
podcast-
everyone to drive from home to their 9
The
to 5.
podcast is a limit of 15, not a limit, a
Straw
minimum
man.
of 15 minutes. So we could
Oh,
go more.
it's 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's no cap on
That's
it.
how
It
we
can be
have
as
a
long
group
as
of
we
six.
want.
Great. Okay.
Yes, we can keep talking for as long
okay.
as
Great. Well, so I already forget your name. Say it to me again.
Jackson.
Jackson. All right, Jackson. We've been talking about a lot of things. We've been paying attention. You got anything to comment on it?
Yeah, so you mentioned the hate comment towards that young man that killed himself.
Yes, yep.
That was more of a directed comment. What do you feel
Yes.
about like more broad comments on social
Can
media?
you give me an example? Like if I'm saying something offensive to people?
Yeah, so if
a
if
group
somebody
of
were to go
people?
on social media and say that they hate a certain group of people, it's not targeting one person, but it's targeting that group.
I think as long as what you're saying doesn't have intent to like physically harm that person. So if I go, I'll use like, oh God, what's appropriate? The Irish. I say, hey, like I hate the Irish, and I say
Same,
that.
man.
Yeah, it's an oldie.
Oldie
Nope, not an oldie but a goodie, Grady.
I'm Irish
Edit,
and Irish,
edit
right?
that out. Edit that out.
I'm Irish, I agree.
If I say I hate the Irish, I think that's fine. If I say I'm going to go kill every Irish person or Irish people should be dead,
That
I
makes
think
you English.
I think that no, never mind. Can't say that part.
Tully
I
Irish?
think Mr. Tully's very Irish. Yep. I think it makes a threat, and I feel like that's what we're seeing in our government today, right? Is if you make a threat online, even like with the Charlie Kirk stuff, right? If you said
Yes.
something about how it's good that people are dead, I do kind of agree that like you are creating a violent situation by
Yeah.
encouraging violence.
Because by saying that, it kind of makes people angry, and by making people angry, you're causing kind of chaos.
You could have that one crazy
Chaos
person that
ensues.
sees your tweet that's public and says, you know what, they're right, I am going to do it. And then I think you're responsible because you said something like that.
Like-
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that did.
Did I change your mind? Did you have an opinion on this, or was that just a
My
question?
opinion was that it shouldn't, like, if it's targeting a group of people, it definitely should be limited, and if it's hurting or
Sure, but
harming them,
only limited if it's directly
Yeah,
harming.
dir-
Okay.
Yes. So I have another question.
Go ahead,
for you.
Sean. I'm ready for it.
How do you think that free speech on social media would relate to the amendments and what the founding fathers had originally wanted for our country?
This sounds like a ChatGPT originated question.
I mean,
looks
Sean's a robot.
Hey, that's true. I think and we talk about this with my freshmen too, but I think they'd be happy with freedom of speech. I think the United States has done freedom of speech incredibly well of all of our 10 amendments. That one, besides the last 2 months, I feel like that one has been pretty well protected. I feel like you can say whatever you want. To your point, like we have Nazis in the United States, we have the KKK in the United States, the Westboro Baptist Church. If you don't know who they are, they say horrid things, specific things, and they're allowed to do it. So I think our forefathers would, and obviously they didn't see social media and the internet coming, but I think they'd be happy that we're allowed to say pretty much anything we want.
Do you think there's anything that they would want us to change about free speech on social media?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think it's hard with a question like that because then you're playing a game of what if. I feel like they would have a lot more questions beyond how do we limit freedom of speech on social media. I think they would allow it based on what they did back then. Not letting women have an opinion. I feel like they very much would not want people to have opinions from certain groups, probably. I think they'd be shocked that a non-white man is on social media. But beyond that, I think they'd let you say what you want. That was the idea. So, what do you guys think?
I actually tend to agree with you on that. I do think that they would be probably with all these new advancements with technology and social media and things like that. I think they would, not having seen that in the past, I think they probably would have looked at, if they had seen this in the past, then they would have thought it would have been such a great thing for the people because it's truly an outlet to be able to explain your ideas or your opinions and ideas to more people than you usually would have been able to. But I do think you're right that they would have been very confused to see that everyone has that ability.
They wouldn't want that.
And then that's probably one of the things that they wouldn't have wanted for people to be able to do.
All right, how we doing? We good?
I think that's good.
All right, guys, this has been great. I'm a
Thank you
big
so much
fan of
for
the
coming.
show, and I loved being here.
Glad we could
so
have
much
you.
for-
Yeah, no, anytime you guys want me back, just let me know. I'll
I'll
call
be
in.
back.
All right. Okay.
I know he'll be back.
Yeah, this has been wonderful, guys.
Yeah, he sleeps outside your
great.
house.
This is great. I believe that.
I don't know his address.
This is great.
This is a really good conversation.
Nice to meet the two of you. Yep. Everyone else, this has been great.
Our first primary source is the First Amendment. The First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. This relates to what we are saying about social media because social media is essentially an extension of people's freedoms of speech. It offers people the ability to speak freely regardless of where they are in the world. It also gives everyone an opportunity to share their opinions and ideas on world issues and subjects.
In Tinker vs. Des Moines, students wanted to wear black armbands in protest of the Vietnam War. They were denied the ability to do so. Multiple students were suspended for continuing to wear the armbands. The parents complained how it violated their freedom of speech. This shows how even though we have these rights, they are often violated and not recognized. By having social media, people have more access to these rights and can speak more freely than they could in the past.
Federalists would be angry about the full rights to freedom of speech because although they wanted to have it, they wanted it to be limited in order to protect order and stability. Anti-Federalists would be very happy with the full right to freedom of speech because it was something that they were fighting for from the start with the Bill of Rights. They wanted to have the full freedom of speech to prevent another monarchy and dictatorship.
Thanks everyone for tuning in to this week's podcast. I hope you all learned something about freedom of speech. See you next week.